You're my heartbeat, my silent drum that is kicking me till I'm numb. I wanna feel the love that James Brown did when he got standing ovations on his gig. I wanna feel free like a bird in the sky when he opened his wings to fly on by to the beat of my silent drum that is kicking me till I'm numb. I wanna feel free like a bird in the sky when he opened his wings to fly on by to the beat of my silent drum that is kicking me till I'm numb. Oh. You're my heartbeat, my silent drum that's kicking me till I'm numb. I wanna feel the love that James Brown did when he got standing ovations on his gig. I wanna feel free like a bird in the sky when he opened his wings to fly on by to the beat of my silent drum that is kicking me till I'm numb. Oh. You're my heartbeat, my silent drum that's kicking me till I'm numb. I wanna feel the love that James Brown did when he got standing ovations on his gig. I wanna feel free like a bird in the sky when he opened his wings to fly on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Talladega, and we got quite the race lined up for all of you guys to watch here live on YouTube. I am joined by my co-commentator, my best friend, one of my guys I like to talk to quite a bit, Hunter Sleppy. Hunter, wow. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Dega, baby.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have a lot of action tonight. Got to remember, not only is it Dega, but we also got the middle of the playoffs, where we got the round of 8 kicking off here tonight. The 8 drivers we got are Joshua Adams, Justin Krasinski, Chad Frankenfield, Adam Meyer, Anthony Job, Andrew Rucker, Logan Shea, and Tyler Riggs. Those guys are all still trying to make it into the final round of the playoffs, so they got a lot on the line tonight, and it's not just the typical Dega race for them. They're going to have to survive till the end.
Should be a fun one tonight.
And I think we got qualifying pretty much wrapped up for right now. Looks like Adam Meyer actually in the 12, in the 13 tonight. Looks like he might have actually gotten the pole. So we're going to go ahead and take you through your starting lineup here in a minute. But I also want to remind you guys that this is the brilliantlifestyles.myshakely.com 150 here at Talladega. So make sure you check out that website. show Shake Lee some love. It's a big sponsor for this league, and they definitely help out the JoinAPS.com Truck Series and keep it going. And looks like we got the cars starting to grid up a little bit. Kind of a smaller field tonight for the race. Not entirely a huge field like we would have liked to see, but we still got a reason to go racing, which is always a good thing, and we still got a lot of drivers that we're going to keep an eye on, and not to mention it should be exciting. So going through our starting lineup, row number 1, you got Adam Meyer running the number 13 this week, and starting outside of him is Kyle Zimmer in the 25.
Starting in the second row, Justin Krasinski in the third spot actually, and in the fourth position is Joshua Adams.
Yeah, and it looks, I don't think Adams actually made it out onto the track, so he might be starting from the pits, but rolling off 5th tonight's going to be Logan Shea, and then 6th is we're going to find the 0-1 of Tyler Riggs.
7th is Chad Frankenfield, and 8th is Vic Bloom.
Then you got rolling off 9th. How about the 81 of Cam Barnes? Kind of haven't talked about him too much this season. A little bit new to the series. And then Andrew Rucker, the veteran, is going to start there in 10th.
Starting in 11th is Jacob Evanson, and starting 12th is Anthony Job.
And then our 13th and final driver that'll be rolling off here in the field tonight is going to be Taylor Smith, running the number 12. I guess kind of snatched that number away from Adam Meyer. Not sure entirely what's going on there. I know Adam normally is running the 12. But tonight we'll see him in the 13, and we got a couple of guys joining us here on the stream, NASCAR Guy and Devin Lane. Showing some love to your channel as well there, Hunter, about your reaction videos from Kansas.
Yeah. I don't know why, but when I saw Byron go up, I saw the blue 24, and I don't know why, I just immediately thought, oh, Chase Elliott. And, yeah, I botched that so bad.
Well, hopefully we don't botch things like that tonight, because we got a lot of action. It's only a 60-lap race, so I want to bring that out to point. So we're obviously, stage break's going to be on lap number 30, so they're going to be racing to get there and get some stage points. And then after that, it's another 30 laps till the end of this one. So a couple strategies going to come into play. I saw some guys talking about maybe riding in the back and letting all the crazy things kind of take care of themselves, and then starting to make their way towards the front towards the end of stage number 2. But we're going to have to see if they actually stick to those strategy and what just kind of plays out here. But Adam Meyer, running the 13 this week, is going to lead them down, starting second. Outside of him, that's Kyle Zimmer in the number 25, down through the tri-oval.
Green.
And we got the green flag out. Well, Meyer actually gets a pretty good jump, thanks to a lot of help from Justin Krasinski right behind him in the 4. Outside lane, not the place to be. Kyle Zimmer starts falling back. He's got Tyler Riggs up there behind him, as well as Vic Bloom. And then the 03 of Logan Shea moves into 3rd on the bottom.
Heading down the Alabama Gang Superstretch for the first time, and so far, outside lane can't get anything going as Kyle Zimmer leads that line, but leading the inside line in the race is AJ Meyer.
And it looks like a little bit of a block thrown right there on the top of the outside lane between Tyler Riggs and Vic Bloom in the 77. Bloom kind of comes back down to the bottom now, leaves that number 01 of Tyler Riggs up top all by himself. But for right now, it's starting to get kind of single filed out here at the front of the field, and your leader is Adam Meyer in that number 13 at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, this early in the going, I don't expect much moves to be made, considering, 1, the number of trucks in the field, and 2, once again, how early it is in the race.
Yep, single file now throughout the first half of the field. You got Meyer, Krasinski, Shea, Frankenfield, and Andrew Rucker. That's your top 5. As I say that, though, looks like Frankenfield in the 15 and Andrew Rucker actually decide to bring it up towards the top side of the racetrack and start to form up a little bit of an outside line.
Gonna need more cars to get the outside line going.
Yeah, and it looks like in this small field, it's going to be hard to find a lot of help. But it's also going to mean that these guys are going to have to stay close together, or else they're going to just be losing the only little bit of draft that they have. So all these guys are going to have to find a way to kind of work together and keep everybody up front running towards the end of this race. And you got 3 trucks up top. Again, that's Frankenfield, Andrew Rucker, and Vic Bloom. Down low, though, is where all the power seems to lie between the number 13 of Adam Meyer, Justin Krasinski, Logan Shea. Looks like you also got the 81 of Cam Barnes, and I think that's the 25 of Kyle Zimmer, rounding out that top group. Then you got a couple cars, or trucks rather, I should say, kind of sagging behind that first initial group, and that's the 01 of Tyler Riggs and the 19 of Jacob Evanson. Only other car we got is Anthony Jobe, who's just now coming through the tri-oval. He started the race from pit road, and I think that's it for right now. So only 11 trucks on track and 10 in this front pack, which could soon become 8 in just a handful of laps here, unless Evanson and Tyler Riggs can find a way to make it work. And as soon as I say that, Justin Krasinski goes from the bottom to the top, and then back to the bottom, trying to throw a block on the outside lane, and then I guess he thought he better tuck in behind Adam Meyer.
Frankenfield really starting to get the outside line going.
Yeah, the outside line starting to chug along, like you were saying there, with only 3 trucks. Obviously, he's going to need a few more than that, or at least more than what they have on the bottom line if he really wants to make that the place to be. But 4 laps in, not really a lot of trucks sticking to that strategy of laying back early, with the exception of Anthony Jobe, who started in the pits, I believe. And at the moment, it looks like he's about to get lapped once again and go 3 laps down early on. And that is going to hurt his race, because I don't know how many cautions we're going to get with such a small field. But the outside lane trying to get itself working between Chad Frankenfield and Andrew Rucker. See him going by the lap truck of Anthony Jobe on the top side, and as you were saying there, battle for the lead. Krasinski not able to get to the back bumper of Adam Meyer quite good enough, because Chad Frankenfield is kind of closing up that gap between first and second. 6 trucks, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. At the front of the field, Frankenfield leading the outside charge.
Yeah, the other half back there is starting to fade quite a bit.
But now they got the addition of Anthony Jobe, who was the lap truck, to join them back there. So that should help their cause in terms of drafting help. And kind of stick them around with the front half of the field. But Adam Meyer, so far today, or tonight I should say, has led every single lap of this race. We're looking at 5 laps led after starting in the first spot. But right now, like you said, he's in trouble of losing the lead, because he's got Chad Frankenfield in the 15 leading that charge.
Dead even coming off turn 4.
Looks like Meyer got him at the stripe. Sorry, Frankenfield got Meyer at the stripe. Seems to be calming down at the front of the field. A little 3-wide move there by Chad Frankenfield puts Krasinski up top all by himself. But another thing it does is it allows the 0-3 of Logan Shea now to tuck up behind the back bumper of Adam Meyer. So now you got Meyer still holding on to the lead, but now he's got a new person behind him, and it's the 0-3 of Logan Shea.
having a little bit of a connection issue.
They hit the stripe this time around. There's going to be 20 laps to go in stage number 1. So far, it's been all Adam Meyer in the number 13. Logan Shea, Vic Bloom, Kyle Zimmer, and Chad Frankenfield for the moment going to round out your top 5. Looks like Frankenfield's losing a little bit of drafting help as he's the lone car, or lone truck, I should say, on the outside all by himself. Might be able to tuck in there right in front of the 20 of Andrew Rucker.
And Rucker's not going to let him in.
Rucker is actually forcing himself, trying to get into the top 5 for the first time tonight. And he might be doing so by not letting any slack be given to Chad Frankenfield there. So Rucker actually moves into the 5th spot. Zimmer's still trying to make something work from 4th.
Poor Chad Frankenfield stuck on the outside, still can't find his way to the bottom.
You're right there. He's still getting passed by a lot of trucks. Next one is the last truck in line, which is Justin Krasinski. And it looks like we got, I think that's the 88 of Josh Adams just now coming out of pit road. So he's already 11 laps down. That's going to hurt his chances of trying to get a good finish for tonight. Definitely won't finish on the lead lap. Frankenfield pretty far back, though. He might actually lose the draft here.
I don't think so. He should be fine. Actually, Josh Adams is currently being scored 9 laps now.
How about that? A little close racing for second place there. Vic Bloom trying to work on Logan Shea. It's going to move up to the top side. So now Vic Bloom trying to make his way towards the front. He's going to get help from Kyle Zimmer in that number 25 truck up top. Andrew Rucker's going to stay down low, it looks like. So only 2 trucks on the top side. Might take a little bit more help for that to work for Vic Bloom. Not quite going to be able to get that top spot away, but he will move into the 2nd spot at the stripe. I think he wants a couple more chances at the lead before it's all said and done.
Yeah, near the halfway mark of the first stage here, and right now it seems like no one has anything for AJ Meyer there in the 13 truck.
Looks like the bottom line might have came up a little bit there on the back straightaway, caused a little bit of a bobble between the front runners. So that's going to hurt the outside lane and their cause towards the lead.
Vic Bloom trying to side draft to 20. Looker.
The joinaps.com, number 77 there on the high line. Starting to make his way back towards the front now, again around the shakily 03 of Logan Shea.
Rucker moving up the track a little bit next to Wheeler in the 25.
Yeah, that's
Zimmer.
Kyle Zimmer in the 25.
Outside line starting to get a couple more trucks up there.
Oh, they're getting a little dicey back there.
Zimmer makes his way to the back.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like the outside lane's getting a little bit more help now as Andrew Rucker and Chad Frankenfield join the fight. Halfway through stage number 1 here.
So far, it's just been AJ Meyer leading the way on the inside line from the drop of the green flag. But right now, Vic Bloom challenging on the outside with Andrew Rucker behind.
I think Vic Bloom might be able to steal a lap lead here. If he can edge him out at the stripe. It's going to be close. Looks like Meyer's going to go ahead and continue his lead, but the more the outside lane works at it, they might be able to take away that top spot. If they get one more truck, if you get the 0-1 of Tyler Riggs to jump up there with him, I think they'll go ahead and get around that first 3 trucks there on the bottom.
So you see Vic Bloom trying to side draft to 03 of Logan Shea there. Side draft very crucial at restricted play racetracks like Talladega. Which also allows the 77 of Bloom to get some sort of run. They'll be getting closer to Meyer going into 1 here. Or not.
Now they're starting to break up a little bit, this middle of the pack here, right behind the top 2 positions. And Cam Barnes is actually going to lose a little bit of real estate behind Logan Shea there. Cam Barnes, that's the 3rd truck there on the inside, on the bottom side of the racetrack. And right now might be Vic Bloom's chance to get around the leader. He's got a pretty good run, side draft in the top 2. I don't know if he's got the help that he needs for the moment behind him between the 20 of Rucker. Oh, and there goes Adam Meyer into the wall hard.
What a hellacious sledgehammer hit for the leader.
And how about this? No fast repairs this week. So that's going to be the end of Adam Meyer's race. Tough break for Adam Meyer.
That's a shame. He had the fastest truck all race long by far.
Let's go ahead and look at a replay.
Here comes a pace car. I was just going to say about the net code with the side drafting, and I believe that did have a little factor in.
So you're watching here, we see Adam Meyer on the bottom. Let me speed up just a little bit. We'll get right about to here. And Vic Bloom, yeah, he definitely came down trying to side draft, and I think it was more of a matter of him hitting Logan Shea than it was net code. And then as soon as he hit Logan Shea, I mean, it was all done from there. Adam Meyer goes hard into the outside wall. Luckily for the 15 of Chad Frankenfield, I don't think he got any damage from that. And I think it might have just been a solo car incident here with Meyer. I don't think anybody else really got too much affected by it.
It's actually when Vic Bloom was moving down, Logan Shea was moving up just a tad there.
Well, I think one way we're definitely going to be able to tell is riding on board with Logan Shea and our new Jacob Bell helmet cam. Let's see if we can find it there. All right, here we go.
Upgrading our budget.
Yeah, I think you're right. He definitely came up a little bit there, did Logan Shea. I don't know if that's entirely what triggered it or not. A couple other angles here. Let's watch from this is Andrew Rucker's on board. I think if we slow that one down, you might really be able to see what happened here. So this is on board with Andrew Rucker, who was right behind this mess. And you see Logan Shea is veering a little bit to the right side of Adam Meyer's bumper. Vic Bloom definitely came down about at least half a lane there, though. Just so that alone will trigger a lot of these incidents. And the contact was made. Up goes Adam Meyer. I don't know if Andrew Rucker got into the back of Vic Bloom here or not. It looks like he doesn't, actually. It looks like he does a pretty good job getting around him. So, good break for a couple of these guys.
As going by scoring, it looks like Chad Frankenfield will retake the lead. He was in the lead a couple of times earlier today, but really going to get anything going on the outside line. Andrew Rucker in second, Logan Shea third.
Yeah, that 15 truck's got a little bit of damage too. I want to add that.
Yeah, I don't know how much damage a 15 has. I mean, truck bounced off his windshield, and
you see right there in the left front.
Yeah, a little bit of left front damage, but yeah.
So I think these guys went ahead and pitted. So
yeah, I believe they did.
See where Vic Bloom ended up here. Showing him scored in 7th. So one guy this does benefit, though, is the 91 of Anthony Job, who was a couple laps down at the start of this one. Right now is being showed another lap down, so when we get that stage break in 11 laps, he'll also more than likely get the free pass and get back on the lead lap. So it's working out okay for Anthony Job.
Now this just needs to play in the hands of Josh Adams.
Yeah, Adams is going to need a couple more cautions, though.
He's going to need more than a couple of cautions.
I wonder how much damage is going to come into play for Chad Frankenfield. Looks like we actually got 2 more laps for our yellow flag here.
And these pace laps here at Talladega, super duper slow.
So one thing I do want to do while we got this quick little break is let's throw it back to our first race of the season. I know you guys were kind of there on black for a second. But how about the first race of the season when we were at Daytona and you had Kyle Zimmer, Joshua Personette, everybody was battling for the win on the last lap. And then this huge wreck took place, took out almost everyone, and the winner was Joshua Adams right there, got by them just barely at the stripe, and he was celebrating in Daytona. And just wanted to throw it back there to the Spirit Wear Athletic Apparel 150 that kicked off the season. Got a lot of these guys interested in the series.
That by far was the craziest finish I have ever seen.
And I mean, Adams was just barely able to sneak by there, and that's that's what really started off this season and started off kind of racing that we've looked forward to each and every week here. But while we got a moment, I don't want to just sit here wasting our time, so I'll go ahead and throw it to a quick commercial break, but we will be right back here to get you set for the restart. What is going on, guys? Jacob Bell here with a very important message. I am now on Patreon. If you guys don't know what Patreon is, basically it's a website where you can become a donor, content creator, so that they can continue to create content for you guys. The link to my Patreon is in the description down below, and even if you can't donate, please share it to your Facebook and Twitter pages so that maybe someone else can. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you can click on that link down below.
Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway for the BrilliantLifestyles.myshakeleague.com 150 live from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Join APS.com Truck Series. Still under yellow for a one-car incident involving the leader, A.J. Meyer, who is out of the race. As they went through pit stops, Chad Frankenfield has retaken the lead, followed by Andrew Rucker in second, Logan Shea rounding out the podium position. As feel free to put something in the chat. We will always want to interact with the viewers. Ask them questions. I can't talk. Ask some questions, and we will answer them.
Yeah, we see Devin Lane asking for a replay of the crash, and I thought we were going to have the one-to-go signal there. It turns out we're not. So actually, I didn't want to go back and show you a replay just for time's sake, but I think we might actually be able to here. So as I go back to try to find it here.
I don't know how far back we'll let us go.
Yeah, I think that might be our issue here. Oh no, we can get it. Look at that. Okay, so here's our replay of what happened, just for you, Devin Lane. Adam Meyer was our leader. Vic Bloom was trying to side draft him there in the outside lane. Came down a little bit too much, and obviously contact was made with Adam Meyer. Meyer hit the wall hard, and I mean that was pretty much it, and that was the end of his night as well. Vic Bloom, luckily I should say, able to make it through, unlike a lot of these guys. Or excuse me, unlike Adam Meyer, I should say. Do you think a big crash will happen today from NASCAR guy? That's his question there, Hunter. I'll let you go ahead and answer that one first.
I would hope not, due to the low number of trucks in the field. But if it were to happen, I would assume it would happen within about 10 or 5 to go, because intensity starts to pick up. You're going for it all on the line. So yeah, definitely, if it were to happen, it would be under 10 to go or under 5 to go.
Yeah, and I think if there is a caution as well, it would probably be, like you said, towards the end of the race. And I don't really want to see a caution just because of a big wreck, I should say, just because of the fact that there's only so few number of trucks already in the race to begin with. I think we actually are going to have 10 on track right now, 11 maybe. And Anthony Job's on track, and he's one lap down still. So, yeah, I don't really want to see that too much, but we can go through our restart order here. And restarting on the restarting in first is going to be Chad Frankenfield in number 15. Restarting second, Andrew Rucker in the 20. Third is where you're going to find Logan Shea, and then restarting fourth, how about Kyle Zimmer in the number 25. Fifth is going to be Tyler Riggs in the 0-1 on this restart. Starting sixth is going to be Justin Krasinski. Seventh, Vic Bloom. Jacob Evanson's going to restart eighth. Restarting ninth, Cam Barnes, and then 10th is Anthony Job, one lap down. So that's our 10 trucks that we got left here as we get set to get the green flag with only 7 laps to go in the stage.
Joshua, person, that you're not the real NASCAR guy. No, I'm the real NASCAR guy. And Devin Lane ruined on the 20 of Andrew Rucker, who is restarting on the outside of Chad Frankenfield, our leader. Pace car pulls in, and we will get him under for about a 7-lap shootout.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 7 or so laps here. I don't know what Krasinski's doing way up top, but it looks like they're on the gas. Green flag is out. Oh, that was a kind of weird restart there. Frankenfield just kind of took off there, and nobody else really went with him. So now he's got Andrew Rucker tucking the line in second, right in front of Logan Shea, who's third. And there's a big gap from the top 3 trucks all the way back to fourth.
Yeah, I guess when you're the leader on the restarts, you can go wherever you want as soon as the pace car drops, I believe.
And it looks like Rucker and all them are trying to leave the 15 of Chad Frankenfield behind. I think they're worried about the damage that truck has. Nobody really willing to work with him. They're all kind of trying to fly by him on the outside. Look at Zimmer going to the way far outside. He's above the white line through 3 and 4 there. And it looks like Krasinski's going to hook up with Logan Shea in that second row. Andrew Rucker is going to drop down in front of Chad Frankenfield. And we got quite the race going on here at the front of the field.
Boy, oh boy, Kyle Zimmer was running the Kyle Larson line in 3 and 4 that time.
I don't know who got that one at the stripe. It's going to show Logan Shea led that lap. So now Shea's going to drop down in front of Rucker. Leave Krasinski and Zimmer up top. We got to remember, though, that third truck in line on the bottom, Chad Frankenfield, has a decent amount of damage to the right front of that nose. Sorry, left front of that nose.
Once again, outside lane, struggling to get trucks up there. It's only the 4 of Krasinski and the 25 of Zimmer.
Wow, look at the damage on the back of Andrew Rucker. I didn't notice that either. That truck's got a pretty big dent in the rear bumper there, all the way up to the spoiler. That could definitely have an effect on the speed of that truck. Looks like it doesn't matter for him, though. He's going to jump way out in front of Justin Krasinski up top. Logan Shea's going to lead back-to-back laps, but now Krasinski's pushing Rucker going down into turn number 1. How about the trucker, Andrew Rucker, making the outside lane work there, Hunter?
I like that nickname. So yeah, more trucks are starting to get bunched up on the outside. Rucker going to clear the 03 of Logan Shea for the lead at the moment. Frankenfield right now struggling to get that 03 going.
Want to give a shout out to Jimmy Johnson, 7-time 23, stopping by, checking out the broadcast. If you haven't been watching it, you missed quite the race so far. You got Krasinski all over the back bumper of Rucker. 4 trucks on the top, 2 trucks on the bottom, and it looks like they're hanging about even.
Rucker led that time by. Heading into turn 1. Is he going to pull down? No, he's going to stay with Krasinski. So Logan Shea comes back on the bottom, coming off turn 2.
So how about this stat for you there, Hunter? Out of our races we've had so far this season, we've only had 4 different stage winners. That's it. And those stage winners were Joshua Adams, not going to win one today, Krasinski, who's still in contention, Adam Meyer, who's definitely not going to win one today, and Anthony Joe, who's a lap down. So unless Justin Krasinski wins this stage, we're going to have a first-time stage winner. And on top of that, we've only had 5 different winners this season. So there's probably going to be a first-time winner for this series unless you get Justin Krasinski to win it, or maybe even Frankenfield. Besides that, it's up in the open for a first-time winner.
I have no clue what just happened, but everyone just abandoned Andrew Rucker on the outside. Logan Shea retakes the lead, Frankenfield third. Krasinski now moving into the podium position in third.
And how about Logan Shea? In these playoffs so far, he's kind of just been hanging around. Not really been running up front. No stage wins this season. No race wins this season. But all of a sudden, with a couple laps to go in stage number 1, he's sitting in first place. And if he can win this, he'll advance to championship 4, and it would be his first win of the season.
So if everything goes to plan.
Right now, it looks like everybody's trying to calm down and get their runs figured out because they know it's coming down to the end of the stage and they want to make the right move so that they can end up with that stage win and with those bonus points. And look at Krasinski, he's going to move back to the top. Logan Shea showing the way right now, but here comes Krasinski with Kyle Zimmer and Andrew Rucker up top.
Boy, that outside line's got a huge run. Krasinski and Shea are dead even in turn 2.
Yeah, and Frankenfield's really been giving it all he's got on the bottom, trying to help Logan Shea as much as he can. Zimmer, though, really getting aggressive on the back bumper of Krasinski. The 4 truck might be able to steal one here.
It's starting to fade.
It is starting to fade, and I think this might be coming to the checkered flag here for stage 1. I could be wrong, so don't kill me if I'm wrong here, but Logan Shea out front. Chad Frankenfield right on the back bumper. And this isn't a checkered flag. Then we're going to have 1 to go in stage 1. Logan Shea leads across the stripe, and he'll get his first stage win of the season. So how about that? I was just talking about how we've only had a couple different stage winners, and for the first time this season, Logan Shea picks up his first stage win. That was pretty exciting there at the end.
Oh yeah. Just think about how exciting it's going to be at the end of the second stage.
And how about the Shackley truck getting the win in Shackley's race here? The Brilliant Lifestyles myshackley.com 150 at Talladega. Good showing for them. Logan Shea, of course, winning stage number 1. Finishing second was Chad Frankenfield. Third, Vic Bloom. Fourth was Justin Krasinski. Fifth, Andrew Rucker. Sixth was Kyle Zimmer. Seventh, Tyler Riggs. Eighth, Jacob Evanson. Ninth, Cam Barnes. And 10th, Anthony Job. So that's how they finished here in stage number 1.
Call me crazy, but I'm looking for the 81 truck of Cam Evans here for towards the end of the second stage. I feel like he's saving his stuff up, and if he doesn't get caught up in any wrecks, doesn't make any mistakes, he'll be up front at the end. Just a little early prediction.
Well, like I was talking about under our last yellow flag, the person that this is really going to benefit is going to be the 91 of Anthony Job. He's going to go from being 1 lap down back onto the lead lap here with 30 laps left to go in the race. Final stage is going to be kicking off, and he's going to have a chance to get a win.
Anthony Jones will be able to make some moves. So I'll be back. I'm going to go into this little cubby hole next to our booth.
Jacob Bell here with a very important message. I am now on Patreon. If you guys don't know what Patreon is, basically it's a website where you can become a donor, content creator, so that they can continue to create content for you guys. The link to my Patreon is in the description down below, and even if you can't donate, please share it to your Facebook and Twitter pages so that maybe someone else can. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully you'll be clicking on that link down below. So we're back here at Talladega. Again, the Brilliant Lifestyles.myshackley.com 150. Stage 1 just wrapped up. Logan Shea was able to pick up his first stage win of the season. And coming in the right time when you're talking about the playoff situation and all of that. So hopefully for Logan Shea's case, this will end in a win for him. And he'll be able to move on to the round 4. I see Jimmy Johnson, 7-time 23, saying, I don't want to wreck. It's about racing. You got Devin Lane chiming in, saying 25 is getting a little bit loose. How many times is Newman going to have cars on top of him? Let's see, it's a great question there, guys. I also want to drop in that link right there. If you visit that link, you'll be able to check out all these cool shirts that I'm selling for my merchandise. I race dirt street stocks and go-karts all across Florida. And we're selling some hoodies. You know, I got a bunch of these at my house that I'm trying to send out. I got a bunch of people that have already bought some. So for everybody who's already bought a couple shirts or whatnot, I appreciate that. But you guys can check it out. Let me know what you think of those shirts and that design. And that'd be greatly appreciated. Not to mention, though, we've got this great race that we've seen so far. And right now, Logan Shea is looking like he's in the top spot.
Back from the cubbyhole, started to get lost in Narnia, then made a quick 180 and found my way back in the booth.
Well, glad you made it back. I think we might be getting the one-to-go signal for Lucky. And that looks like we still got a couple more laps to go.
think Newman is getting really sick and tired of it. Am I right? From Devin Lane. I would too. You know, if I have 5 cars on top of me throughout my career, and you know, the best part about Ryan Newman after he has a car on top of him in a fiery wreck, just like what happened to William Byron at Kansas a couple nights ago. He would always say, "Oh, well, the racing is this and that, and it's bad, and it's unsafe. We need to make this safer, make it better than what it is," you know? Because he always gets caught up in seems like he always gets caught up in a wreck with a car on top of him. Let's take a look at the bottom left of the screen with our race summary. The current leader is Logan Shea in the 03 Shaq Lee, what is that, a Chevy? I don't know. 32 of our 60 scheduled laps have been completed, 7 lead changes and 2 cautions for 6 laps. One of them including a one-car incident where AJ Meyer was wrecked out, and the second one was the end of this stage, or on the first stage. Take a look at your track facts here for Talladega. Talladega, USA, 2.653 mile track. Track temp at 103.66 degrees Fahrenheit. Altitude, I can't read. Altitude at 540.28 feet and 4 turns. Track weather, already mentioned the track temp, but the air temp is a cool, crisp 78.01 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity at 55% with a partly cloudy sky. Perfect day for a race.
You know, I just thought about what I'm going to do from now on for this this little weather lanyard and this venue lanyard here for our track facts. I think I ought to just put information and then underneath it, right, you know, brought to you by Daidu 188, a little channel plug there. You know, they have, like, on, you watch it on Fox, they'll say, here's your weather update presented by Progressive, you know, something like that. So I think I'll have to plug your channel there, since you're our official reader of it most of the time anyways.
Yeah. As we were going over that, I noticed that the Ford, Justin Krasinski, went back down pit road. Not really sure what's going on there, if fuel or tires or personal issue like before, but
that's true too. I didn't think about that. No, it looks like he's getting service done there on the truck. He might have not just pitted yet, so he might have just now had to come down. He was kind of bluffing against the field maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but he did get service done on that truck, 4 tires and fuel, so none of these guys should have to worry about the fuel mileage the rest of the way. We should be good to go. Speaking of being good to go, let's go ahead and get set for the restart. Now with that little shift of position there, Logan Shea is going to restart first. Restarting second is going to be Vic Bloom in the 77. Third is going to be Kyle Zimmer in the 25 truck. Restarting fourth, how about Jacob Bevinson in the 19? Furthest he's been up front towards the day. And remember, he was involved in that crazy finish at Daytona to kick off the year. Restarting fifth, Cam Barnes in the 81 truck. Hunter, you're talking about how you liked him. Starting sixth, going to be Tyler Riggs in the 01. Seventh, Chad Frankenfield. 8th, Andrew Rucker. 9th, Anthony Job, who, let me double check and make sure, yes, he is on the lead lap. And starting 10th at the tail end of the field here is going to be Justin Grzinski in the number 4. So that's going to be our 10 trucks as we get set to roll off here.
Take a look at the chat here from NASCAR Guy, referring to the years where Ryan Newman had a car on top of him, 2009, 2013, 2016, 2018, and 2018 again. 2009 was at this track, coming to the checker of the Aaron's 499 with Carl Edwards. That was quite the crazy crash. 2013, also at this track with Kurt Busch barrel rolling and Newman happening to be just in front of, or just behind that at the time of the incident. 2016, now most people don't remember this, but big one at Richmond where the 83 car of Dylan Lupton actually went on top of him. And again at this track, 2018, in practice, Jamie McMurray with the unbelievable crash. And then 2018 again with the Kansas night incident that just happened a couple nights ago.
Pace car is in. Logan Shea's got the field in hand. Looks like that 77 truck's leaning a little bit to the left there. More than the other trucks, at least in my eyes. And looks like Shea's going to be on the gas now. On the bottom, he chooses to restart. And 26 laps to go in the race. Logan Shea up top. Vic Bloom up top. Logan Shea on the bottom, going down into turn number 1. Toyota Tundra of Logan Shea is working quite nice so far for him. He's going to have the Chevy of Kyle Zimmer and the Chevy of Cam Barnes in line behind him. Up top, Vic Bloom in another Toyota, and the 19 of Jacob Evanson, who I also believe is a Toyota Tundra. So Toyota looking pretty strong so far in this race. You count in the 0-1 of Tyler Ray's, that would make it 4 trucks in the top 5. Unless Cam Barnes and Kyle Zimmer can have something to say about it.
Outside lane starting to fade a little bit, and you know, as the laps go down, the intensity rises, and you know, some mistakes could be made that could lead to a big one, wiping out most of the field here.
Yeah, the Spirit Wear trucks of Evanson, Riggs, and Anthony Joe. Whoa, what happened there with the 03 of Logan Shea?
He saves it though.
Yeah, but he might lose the draft here. I gotta see what happened. Let me back it up real quick. Not sure if it was like a racing deal or what here, but out of nowhere, he was just on the bottom side of the racetrack. No, I mean, it looked like he just turned, really. I didn't see any contact between him and Kyle Zimmer. Problem is, Logan Shea is going to lose the draft because that field just barreled by him. No issue.
One person that does help is this new leader, the 77 of Vic Bloom.
Yeah, and it was Kyle Zimmer there for a moment, but nobody wants to work with that 25 truck, so they all go around him up top, and like you said, Vic Bloom in the 77 now is going to take over the lead. JoinAPS.com, number 77, looking quite nice at the front of the field. Behind him, you got the Spirit Wear truck of Jacob Evanson, and then you got the 25 truck of Kyle Zimmer up top. Kyle Zimmer seems to always find a way to stick around here at the end of these restrictor plate races. Lots
looks
of
like Vic.
being made.
I was about to say, looked like Vic Bloom switching to the outside lane to get the help from Kyle Zimmer, leaving the bottom open for Jacob Evanson to get going.
Yeah, this could be big if Evanson could get to the front of the field for the first time tonight. He's got that 81 truck behind him of Cam Barnes. That Exalta truck looking to work its way towards the front of the field with Anthony Job, the 91, who's 2 laps down. All of a sudden, he's going to be entering the top 5 here in a couple laps.
It looks like it's a complete role reversal from stage 1, and as soon as I say that, the trucks are starting to dive back down to the bottom. As I was going to say, more trucks are on the outside than on the inside, and yeah, now it looks like there's only 2 trucks on the outside, Frankenfield and Riggs.
22 laps to go here in the race. A lot of these guys are just biding their time, waiting until the right opportunity to make their move, but Logan Shea has officially lost the draft. He's 5.5 seconds back from this pack, and he's going to need a caution or something to happen here to help his case for the win.
Well, the way these guys are racing each other, or will be racing each other shortly, the caution looks imminent.
A lot of drivers towards the front of the field that we haven't really talked about this season. I mean, we're talking about the 77 of Vic Bloom. He's not even in the playoffs. Then you got Kyle Zimmer running second, who was eliminated in the last round of the playoffs with Vic Bloom. Third place, Jacob Evanson, also eliminated in the last round of the playoffs. So your top 3 trucks kind of looking for some revenge on the rest of the field. Cam Barnes in the 81, who did not make the playoffs. Tyler Riggs is going to be your first playoff contender. He's sitting at the 8th seed right now. He needs a win. He's your furthest running driver in the 5th. And then you got Anthony Job in 6th, who's still in the playoffs. And then I also saw Chad Frankenfield, one of the guys still in the playoffs too, and Justin Brzezinski as well. Also Andrew Rucker. So about half and half here. 3 drivers who were eliminated in the last round of the playoffs. Then you got the 81 of Cam Barnes who did not make the playoffs, and a bunch of other drivers still looking to make it to the championship 4 rounds. So a lot at stake here, to say the least.
Boy, Frankenfield and Riggs are hauling the mail on the outside, just trying to stay with the inside line here.
Yeah, I mean, really, these guys can start to get desperate here towards the end of the race, trying to fight and claw and scratch their way to the championship round. I mean, if you get it down to Tyler Riggs and Chad Frankenfield and Justin Krasinski and Andrew Rucker, those kind of guys, I mean, they'll start really getting after one another. But for right now, your top 3, all non-playoff drivers.
So I was about to say, when we were riding on board the L1 there, Tyler Riggs, they checked up on the straightaway, and the inside line just seemed to gather everything back in the turns, and it looks like that's not happening right now.
Well, one development I'm starting to take note of is that the back 2 drivers of this little bunch, Cam Barnes and Anthony Job, actually elected to move to the high line. So Tyler Riggs now is going to grab the lead. Up top, they got 4 trucks working together.
Yeah, those 2 in the back, Krasinski and Rucker, they need to team up, otherwise they're going to go not go lap down, but they'll lose the draft.
It's like everybody trying to stay up top, but leave those 3 trucks on the bottom of Vic Bloom, Kyle Zimmer, and Jacob Evanson. I think Rucker's having a hard time keeping up to speed with these guys because of that damage.
So now side by side, 4 rows deep, and then Rucker just a straggler in the back. Riggs will lead that lap. He is clear to come down, but now he's not going down as.
I think he wants to stay up top with Frankenfield because Frankenfield and Barnes and Job are the ones that got him towards the front of the field. I think he doesn't want to leave them out to dry. Especially coming to the end of this. I think he wants to keep them in as much good fortune as he can.
It's the 20 of Andrew Rucker now back in the main pack.
I think Krasinski's kind of helping out Rucker there. It seems like he keeps dropping back towards him and picking him up and driving him back up towards the front of the field. But what Rucker's doing now by joining the bottom lane is giving Vic Bloom and them a big boost of energy. They're going towards the front now. So it looks like the lead might get handed back over towards the 77 on the bottom side of the racetrack.
I got lots of shuffling going down on the front stretch. Vic Bloom leads that lap as we're now under 15 to go. 15 to go here at Dega.
I mean, they're really starting to get a little bit more aggressive, especially when you're talking about the pushing. You'll see Frankenfield, that 15 truck, he has really been on the back bumper of Tyler Riggs, especially going down the straightaways. So they're starting to get aggressive. They want to make sure that they're going to be in contention to win this race. But the bottom 3 trucks, again, we're seeing what we saw just a handful of laps ago. Those Those 3 on the bottom get left out to dry. The rest of the field moves up top and forms a little 6-truck freight train, and it has worked the previous time they tried it. Looks like right now they're struggling a little bit.
Boy, oh boy, Tyler Riggs got a strong run there exiting the tri-oval.
I think the back straightaway Riggs and the outside group should really get a nice run and be able to at least get 2 truck lengths past this group on the bottom, unless Cam Barnes in the 81 truck actually moves towards the top side of the racetrack, which is going to hurt that momentum and kind of ruins it for Tyler Riggs. Barnes looking way outside. He was thinking about making the 3rd lane work.
You can tell that he's starting to get impatient because where he's running right now, he can't go anywhere, and he just wants to make his own lane, get up there with his own help behind, and right now it's just a patient game that he's playing right now.
And then again, Tyler Riggs starts to get this momentum burst on the outside of the racetrack around Vic Bloom, and it really helps him down the straightaways. The corners, though, he's just getting a little bit too wide, and they're giving all of that momentum right back to the bottom group, as now Andrew Rucker in the 20 joins the bottom group. And we're going to have to see if the High Line can muster up some momentum again and try to charge and take the lead away from Vic Bloom. But right now, Kyle Zimmer, Jacob Evanson, I mean, they're bumper to bumper going down into turn 3. And there they go. They finally went around there.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
And
Zimmer, Evanson.
I think that's it, though. I don't think they got too much damage from it as Evanson goes sliding through the grass here. I know Zimmer, that 25 truck, looked like he was in bad shape there.
So the one person this benefits, the 03 of Logan Shea. He gets to restart back in this main pack, and we get to go back and look at how this all occurred.
Well, I don't know if that was the big one, but it was certainly a big deal because these guys, I noticed how hard they were pushing on one another. Really, the 20 of Andrew Rucker is kind of what started this. You can see when Rucker gets up there, look at him on the bottom, he just forces Evanson right into the back bumper of Kyle Zimmer. And then as this was going on, going down to the corner, look at Evanson gets down towards the bottom of the yellow line there, and it just sends that 25 truck of Kyle Zimmer right around. And I think besides this contact, I don't really think there was anything else that they hit. Oh, look at Krasinski. He decides to go low on those 2 spinning trucks, and it actually works out for him. So it could have been a lot worse for these drivers. Let's actually, let's ride on board with Justin Krasinski, because I think he had a pretty good view of this whole thing. Oof. I mean, he had to make a decision there, and he had to make one quick.
Ooh. I did not notice that.
Man.
It's a little strange there from Rucker, but 2 more bite the dust, and we're down to about 8 left.
No, I think those guys will still be in it. I don't think they'll have any issue there. What is important, though, is that Vic Bloom's going to retain the lead, though, so this is going to make for an interesting restart here. I think we'll have about 8 or 9 laps to go once we get it all figured out and get set to go back racing.
Go ahead and look at the chat here. Devin Lane. Hate the 2009 cars. They were very ugly because of the spoiler. Yeah, the only problem about the COT on the back of the car. That it sort of created like when the cars got turned around, it sort of created like a little I don't know what the word is, but it helped the car become more airborne, and that's why they had to switch back to the spoiler. Dang, big one happens. Splitter damage, contact from the one. Yay. This is going to be an interesting finish.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to that point that Devin Lane pointed out there. Splitter damage. That 25 truck, Scott, looks like they were able to get some of it fixed on pit road. But the front end of that truck is a little crinkled, and also the left side of the truck. So in terms of aerodynamic, that's actually going to play a decent role in this finish. And then the 19 of Evanson, luckily looks like his truck is pretty scratch free when you compare it to the 25 of Kyle Zimmer, though. So definitely going to be a factor, the 25's aerodynamics with the damage there. Looks like a couple more laps under caution as well.
So for those of you watching, feel free to put in the chat below who you think is going to win, as we're down to 10 to go here in the voice crack, yes, in the brilliantlifestyles.myshacklee.com 150 live at Talladega Super Speedway. This is the joinaps.com Truck Series. Take a look at your race summary here in the bottom left. The leader right now is Vic Bloom. 50 of the 60 laps have been completed. 11 lead changes, 3 cautions for 10 laps, and is only expected to go up by maybe 1 more or 2 more laps. As relatively overall a very exciting race, as we see, and also in the bottom left, the top 5: Vic Bloom, Logan Shea, Tyler Riggs, Andrew Rucker, and Cameron Barnes, rounding out the top 5. Let's go back in the chat as we have our first prediction from NASCAR guy. I think the 01 will dump the 77 at the end, and Shea will take advantage of that and will win. All right, that's very interesting. Jake, do you have any predictions of your own?
We got another one here in the chat. Racing Fan TV said the 03 or the 01, they might make a last lap pass for the win. Not a bad prediction at all. By the way, Racing Fan TV, it's one of the first times I think I've seen you checking out the live stream, so I appreciate having you here. In terms of my prediction, though, you go ahead and do yours first. I want to think about mine for a couple minutes here.
Okay. I'm still sticking with my gut and going with the 81 of Cameron Barnes right there. But I feel like he'll start to navigate his way through the field as Krasinski goes down pit road. He'll start to navigate his way through the field with under 5 to go. He'll get help from Frankenfield, I want to say. I don't know which truck it'll be, but he'll get help, and he'll just skyrocket to the front.
You know, I want to tell you this. I don't really have a prediction, but 2 things I want to point out here. One, if Anthony Job in the 91 truck could actually get the win here, that would be quite the performance, from being 2 laps down, getting the win, and then sealing himself into the championship round, because he is one of the playoff 8 remaining here, so that would be a big deal for him. As Devin Lane says, 77 is going to win and wreck at the end. And then, I don't want to say this, but it needs to be said, and we just got to point it out here. Justin Krasinski is still in this race, and we got 9 laps to go, and I think that's all you need to say, is that the Ford Justin Krasinski is still in the race, and I'll just leave it at that. So, up front, getting set for our restart here, Eddie Benzie. Appreciate you stopping by, checking out the live stream. 9 laps to go. We're about to get the green flag, so you might want to stick around. Anyways, restart order. Vic Bloom's going to be rolling off first. Second's going to be Logan Shea. Restarting third is going to be Tyler Riggs. Fourth, Andrew Rucker. Fifth, Cam Barnes, which is Hunter's pick. Sixth is Anthony Job. Restarting seventh, Chad Frankenfield in the 18. Restart in 8th, Jacob Evanson in the 19. Kyle Zimmer is going to restart in 9th. 10th is going to be Justin Krasinski, and Adam Myers back out here on track, even though he is 31 laps down. Was our early leader, but ended up getting involved in an accident in stage number 1, which ended his night. It's a tough break for him, but Adam Myers still rolling along here.
Going down the chat, Devin Lane is shaking right now, as so am I, but not because of the race, because of the air conditioning. It's very chilly up here. And a lull from Racing Fan TV. So when we get the restart, we will have 8 laps to go, and if a caution comes out with under 5 to go, then we will not go back green due to the weird caution rule on here, because it takes 5 laps for a yellow cycle.
Want to remind you guys real quick, the playoff 8 drivers, Joshua Adams not in this, Justin Krasinski still in this, Chad Frankenfield, Adam Meyer, Anthony Job, Andrew Rucker, Logan Shea, and Tyler Riggs. Those 8 guys need to get a victory to lock themselves in to the final championship 4 race. Green flag is out. Vic Bloom gets a good jump on the restart. So how about that? Vic Bloom jumps out early on into the bottom lane. Logan Shea follows suit in second. Third is up for grabs between Andrew Rucker and the 0-1 of Tyler Riggs. Close racing here as the field runs up on the number 77 of Vic Bloom, and Logan Shea's going to jump to the outside.
I was just about to say, you don't want to get too big of a lead here at Talladega, because the field will just eat you up.
And look at this, now the 20 of Andrew Rucker is going to jump to the outside of Logan Shea. Looks like Anthony Job is going to go with him. 3 wide for the lead here at Talladega. Don't think it's going to work out just right for Anthony Job and Andrew Rucker. Rucker kind of tucks back in line there. Logan Shea's going to overtake Rucker, move up top, and Vic Bloom still fighting hard on the bottom with help from Tyler Riggs and Cam Barnes at the stripe. Logan Shea's going to be your leader. Andrew Rucker now will move into second, giving him a good push with help from Anthony Job and Jacob Evanson in the 19.
Logan Shea need to watch out on the outside line, because the 20 is super fast right now.
20 is looking pretty sporty right now, but Logan Shea once again able to jump out in front of the pack and get down low in front of Vic Bloom, and it's going to take a lot for these guys to move the 0-3 out of that first spot. Vic Bloom, though, all over the back bumper of Logan Shea. He's pushing him hard for turn 3 and 4. How about this battle for third?
Won't be surprised if Vic Bloom jumps up to the outside here in a couple laps.
Tyler Riggs moves into that third spot. Looks like Andrew Rucker is going to give him a little bit of help as Riggs goes up top. Rucker is going to be right there on the back bumper. A lot of trucks are starting to move up top like you were mentioning there. Will Cam Barnes stay down low, or will he jump up top? Looks like he's going to choose the top lane.
Boy, Bloom is just absolutely shoving Shea right now.
And he is all over the back bumper, making it hard for the outside lane to have anything going for them. Now Frankenfield jumps up top. Cam Barnes jumps up top. More drivers moving towards the top side of the racetrack. Barnes comes back down low. And back
jumps
up
back up top. He's going to have to stick with the lane here shortly.
Oh, he almost gets caught in the middle there. Able to squeeze down in front of Kyle Zimmer. Oh, that's going to start a little bit of a checkup there, all the way back to Anthony Job. Now he goes back on top again. So Vic Bloom now, he's got Cam Barnes riding on the outside of him. Not a lot of help forming up on the outside lane. They can't seem to get lined up with each other just right.
Outside lane just needs a couple more trucks to thrive.
Yeah, but right now they're losing a lot of track position. Kyle Zimmer moves back into third now. That 25 truck leading the inside lane from Anthony Job on back. He's got the opportunity to jump up high and really get the top side rolling. But I think he's going to be content to ride along in third until probably 2 laps or maybe even 1 lap to go. There he goes.
Anthony Job.
Anthony Job and Kyle Zimmer in the 25 truck moved to the top side of the racetrack, and they got Jacob Evanson behind them. And it's starting to form up a little bit better on the outside lane of the racetrack. but still not able to get the momentum they need to get up there with Vic Bloom. Alright, here we go. Now we got a pretty good momentum swing coming from the top side of the racetrack. Evanson's going to give Job a nice little arrow push. And how about this? Kyle Zimmer now pulling up towards the right side of the 0-3 of Logan Shea, your leader. Logan Shea on the bottom. He's got help from Vic Bloom in every way possible, all over the back bumper. But now Kyle Zimmer with Anthony Job and Jacob Evanson starting to make the high line work. The hero the outside lane needed. Who would have thought it would have been Kyle Zimmer in the 25? As soon as he goes to the top side of the racetrack, he started to get organized, started to get some momentum going. But now, once again, the bottom line seems to be the place to be as Andrew Rucker and Chad Frankenfield join the mix. They're inside the top 5 when they hit the stripe this time around. 2 laps to go.
The inside line is actually the preferred line going through the corners, and the outside line makes up so much time on the straightaway.
The outside line is really trying right now. Look at all the trucks that got lined up there. You got Zimmer. Well, you had Anthony Job, now he moves to the bottom. So does Jacob Evanson. All these drivers now trying to mix and match their way towards the front. Andrew Rucker now from 3rd jumps up top. He's got a nice push from that 15 of Chad Frankenfield.
Will it stick through the corner?
And they're really trying to lean on one another and push as hard as they can, but right now it's just not working. And it looks like Vic Bloom was thinking about moving up in front of in front of Andrew Rucker, not quite able to do it. For the moment, though, they're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Talladega.
Just getting down to crunch time, boys.
Outside lane's got some potential now. Andrew Rucker pulls up beside Logan Shea going down to turn 1.
Side by side for the lead. Rucker on the outside, Shea on the inside. Vic Bloom all over the bumper of the 03SA.
Outside lane's going to get a good run here. Outside lane's going to have a lot of momentum going down the back with Andrew Rucker and Frankenfield all over the back bumper. I don't know how long this is going to work, though, with these drivers pushing so hard. Right now, though, Logan Shea's in the best seat. Oh, Vic Bloom blows an engine. Vic Bloom just blew his engine on the bottom. That's going to leave Logan Shea with no drafting help. And here comes the 20 of Andrew Rucker out of turn 4. With help from Chad Frankenfield, the 20 moves up towards the top. Logan Shea gets a bump from Anthony Job, and here comes the 91 truck through the middle. 3, 4 wide, they're crashing through the triangle at the stripe. Oh my goodness!
I have no clue what.
And saying Kyle Zimmer won the race. Are you kidding me? Oh
wow.
My goodness.
What a finish.
Oh my gosh. I have not seen that before.
That is absolutely insane. Literally, just like Daytona, everyone wrecking at the line.
Well, it started, I mean, if we're going to go back, look at where Kyle Zimmer is, by the way. Your race winner is in, I think he's in the 7th spot right now on the back straightaway on the final lap. Okay, so then you had the 77 of Vic Bloom blow an engine going into turn 3. No, I am not kidding. He blew his engine going into turn 3 from pushing so hard. So then they started stacking up. And you got the 03 up front with no help. Andrew Rucker peeks to the outside. He gets some help from Frankenfield. Anthony Job was coming through the middle. I thought Job would have it won. And then Rucker comes down. Frankenfield gets clipped all from behind. And look at Zimmer go by.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's incredible.
I just got to slow that down so we can actually see everything here. Okay, so you got the 81 of Cam Barnes. They were 4 wide there with Frankenfield on the top. That's what clipped him. Just racing there, obviously. Nobody did anything on purpose. I mean, they just went sliding, and I can't even believe that just happened. Look at Rucker coming across. That is a great shot. That is a great shot. Oh, my goodness.
That's incredible.
I've never seen such a great shot. I mean, I'm still trying to just take it all in. I want to show you guys Kyle Zimmer's celebration, though, as well, because he deserves it. As Kyle Zimmer celebrating. I had a feeling we were going to get a first-time winner, but Kyle Zimmer eliminated in the last round of the playoffs, so it doesn't count for the championship board, but it's still a big win for him. I cannot believe it, man. I still got to go back, and we got to watch that.
These restrictor plate finishes just get crazier and crazier. Wow.
I mean, we're talking 3, 4, 5 wide. And look at where Zimmer's at right now. I'm going to pause it for you guys. Zimmer is he is the last car on the outside lane in blue. That is Kyle Zimmer, your race winner. That is where he is at. I just cannot believe that. Literally every single truck crashed coming towards the start-finish line.
Wow.
I don't even... So Andrew Rucker got second. I see you guys asking who flipped. I'm trying to catch it. I think it was
It's Anthony Joe. He didn't flip, but he caught some big air right here.
I cannot believe that. Let's just watch it from the chopper angle and a little bit of slow-mo here. So, right here, Anthony Job, in my opinion, made the race-winning move. Oh, I didn't know he actually clipped Logan Shea. And look at that save from Logan Shea. But Anthony Job was coming through the middle right here, and I thought he was going to have this thing won. And he would have, especially with that 19 pushing him right there. And then just everything goes crazy, man.
Boy, oh boy, if Chad Frankenfield doesn't get turned, he's going in the victory lane. Wow.
I don't know. I think Job had it won. If they kept it straight, I think it would have been the 91 and the 20, and I think the 91 would have edged him out. I just never seen anything like this.
I've never seen that. At first, I thought the race winner was the 19 truck.
I did too. From the angle we were watching, didn't it look like... Well, let's see from our initial angle. We didn't even see the 25 on the high line. We never saw that from the angle we were watching. This is what we were seeing. Yeah, it looked like the 19, you know? Or maybe even the 20.
That's what I thought it was. It was either Rucker or Evanson.
That was for second, because Kyle Zimmer was coming by on the outside. I don't even know. I want to see like in-car angles, but I don't even know who. I want to watch from Anthony Joe, because he was behind Vic Bloom when he blew up going into turn 3.
I'm just flabbergasted.
I can't believe that engine blew up 2 corners away from the finish either. That alone would have been memorable. Not to mention what happened next. Look at this run he was having, man. And that's a great save from Logan Shea. I don't want to let that go to waste either. I mean, he is in the gas all the way to the finish line too. That is just... I have never seen something even close to that.
I want to take a look at the in-car cam from our race winner.
In-car from the race winner? Okay, so let's back it up then. I mean, like, not even in the picture, man. He probably thought he had this race lost already. He's probably like, well, I'll take a 5th place, wherever. And then, I don't even know, man. I bet you he was crazy right here when he crossed the finish line. Well, I thought with the little amount of trucks we would have, it would be not an exciting finish, but man, that was one of the most exciting finishes I've ever seen in my life. I just can't believe that. I want to go back and listen to the call that I had going on. I want to listen to everything.
Just crazy.
about that?
Oh my
2
gosh.
laps led for Kyle Zimmer, and he gets the win. 2 laps led. That's it.
Austin Dillon won the Daytona 500 leading 1 lap. And that's the only lap that matters.
So between Talladega and Daytona alone in this league, that would make for, I mean, you could write a book about each of those races.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, you can't script an ending like that. First having Vic Bloom blowing up going into turn 3, that alone, I don't know how that didn't cause a big one.
I know Vic Bloom, by the way, I want to show him some love because he's always, after each race, if he does something wrong, I mean, he always goes back, watches the broadcast. Most of the time he posts it on his Instagram too, and he tags me in it. So I already know that Vic Bloom's going to be posting about this one because that is just absolutely crazy.
I mean, I don't really know what else he could have done, you know, because he was just so glued to the bumper of the 03 in that he didn't have at times where it seemed like he could go up high, he couldn't because outside lane just got a big enough run. And plus, I don't even think he was worrying about his engine at that time. He's worrying about making a move coming off of turn 4.
Yeah,
if he's in that position.
I wonder if he had known about his engine. Like, I wonder if he knew it was starting to get hot, or if he just never even thought about it because he was so focused on winning. Which, I mean, honestly, that could have very well been the case. But again, want to remind you guys, this is the brilliantlifestyles.myshackley.com 150 at Talladega. Crazy race, absolutely crazy race. But let's look at our results here. I'll go top 5. Hunter, you can do the next 5. But our winner, Kyle Zimmer, finishing first. Second was Andrew Rucker in the 20, finishing third. How about Jacob Evanson in the 19? Fourth was Anthony Job on his side. And then rounding out your top 5, Tyler Riggs in the 01.
And for the rest of the top 10, it's Jessica Brzezinski in the 4 car coming home 6th. Logan Shane in the 03 coming home 7th. Chad Frankenfield in the 15 truck coming home 8th. And my pick to win, Cam Barnes, finishing in the 9th slot in the 81 truck. And Vic Bloom finishing 10th in the 77 truck after a heartbreak ending for him.
And then the rest of your field was Adam Meyer finishing 11th after a tough, heartbreaking end for his race in stage number 1. And then 12th was Joshua Adams. Taylor Smith finishing 13th. Never made a lap here tonight. But I think that's going to go ahead and wrap us up here. Very exciting finish to the race. Very exciting race. The Brilliant Lifestyles.myshackley.com 150. I mean, Hunter, that was quite the race.
It really was quite the race, and I swear, these finishes just get crazier and crazier every time we go to a restrictor plate track.
Yeah, you know, that was a lot of fun to call. For everybody watching, all the people that chimed in on the broadcast, Racing Fan TV, NASCAR Guy, Devin Lane, Eddie Benzie, I mean, all you guys ever stopping by, writing in the chat, that means a lot to both of us, so I really appreciate you guys checking it out. Everybody watching live, I appreciate you joining in on the fun, and it was certainly an exciting finish for Hunter Sleppy and myself. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be back here on this channel, so make sure you subscribe. Drop a like on this video because this is probably one of the craziest races we've all ever seen. So don't forget to hit a like button and hit the subscribe button. I will see you guys later.